We're going to consider note number 26, to solve by completing the square. Now the steps I gave you, you do not need to follow if you know another way, but this is the way that I teach it. You can just use your own method if you prefer. Step 1, you start with a second degree equation and you want to solve for x. So step 1, get x squared and x terms on one side. Step 2, eliminate the coefficient of x squared. You do that by factoring it out and then dividing both sides by it. Step 3, to both sides you add bracket 1/2 the coefficient of x, close your bracket and square it. Step 4, simplify inside your brackets only. And now you're going to factor the left-hand side using the formula a plus or minus b parentheses squared equals a squared plus or minus 2ab plus b squared. In other words, you can consider this as parenthesis x plus the stuff inside the brackets, including the sign, squared in the parenthesis. And then you want to simplify the right-hand side. Step 6, take plus or minus the square root of both sides, because at that point you've completed the square on the left side. And then step 7, isolate the x, solve for x. So let's apply these steps to example. The example is solve by completing the square. And the problem we're going to solve is 3x squared minus 12x equals negative 6. Solution. Okay, get x squared and x terms on one side. Well, that step's done. We already have that. Step 2, eliminate the coefficient of x squared. So we do have a coefficient on x squared. It's a 3. We need to factor it out. Minus 4x. Bring down the equal sign, bring down the other side. So we factor the coefficient of x squared out of both terms on the left side. And then to get rid of it, we just divide both sides by that coefficient 3, and we get x squared minus 4x equals negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to both sides add bracket half the coefficient of x, close your bracket and square it. So on the left side we have x squared minus 4x plus bracket 1/2 times the coefficient of x is negative 4, close parenthesis, close bracket and square it. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the negative 2. Now add the same thing you added to the left side, plus bracket 1/2 times parenthesis, coefficient negative 4, parenthesis, bracket squared. The next step is simplify inside the brackets only. So we have x squared minus 4x plus bracket, half of negative 4 is negative 2, close your bracket, square it, equals, bring down negative 2, plus simplify inside the brackets, half of negative 4 is negative 2, close your bracket, square it. Okay, now we're ready to factor the left-hand side using the formula, but it's the same as saying parenthesis, x plus whatever's in the bracket, including the sign, so it's x minus 2. Close your parenthesis and square it. That is the application of the formula in the note. And then just simplify on the right-hand side. Here we have negative 2 plus a negative 2 squared. Well, negative 2 squared is 4 minus 2 will get us a positive 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. So now we're ready to take plus or minus the square root of both sides. On the left side, it leaves x minus 2. Bring down the equal sign. Take plus or minus the square root of the other side, 2. And then finally, the last step is to solve for x. We'll just add 2 to both sides. It gives us x equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 2. And we're finished. Now for you try. You should try this application of note number 26 for this problem. X squared minus 8x plus 13 equals 0. And when you're finished, your solution should be x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 3. Just give that a try and see if you can get it.